Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Epi. Welcome, everyone in the chat. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday, and I hope this is a great place for you to just relax and do some design work today. So I have a very fun challenge for you guys today. It's, again, fall foliage theme related. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone's just filing in. We've got Sam, Rosie, Jessica, Kai, General Space. Welcome, everyone. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on over to Behance and we can see what today's challenge is. All right, so as always, if you want to follow along with me, I'm at behance.net/challenge/XD. And we can go ahead and scroll on down here and see what today's challenge is. So today, I want you guys to design a fall foliage finder, lots of F's here. Design the fall foliage finder that shows users where they can find colorful foliage throughout the year. And we're going to use a slider to visualize changes per season. And this one was definitely one of my favorites to kind of prepare the challenge for you guys today, because my inspiration was this website that my sister sent me. She just thought it was cool, and so it's this site. It's smokymountains.com/fall foliage map, and basically you can slide through the different weeks of like late September to, sort of going into winter, and it'll show you in the US where the leaves will be changing. So like, maybe in more early September, they're more green and starting to turn a little bit, and then in October we get a little more of those colors. So that would be like prime hiking season, or if you're traveling or something, just like fun to see like where in the US all of these leaf colors will change. So this was my inspiration, and I will give you the example design of what we're going to be creating today. So let me preview this. So this is the design we're going to make, kind of similar, we're not going to do the heat map sort of thing, but we're going to make this slider down here, and we're going to do a little bit of that 3D transform. So we're going to make those colors change on the leaves using some blending modes. We're going to use this slider with auto animate and 3D transform, and I promise you it is super simple. So this was a very fun one. Let's hop back into Behance. Okay, so as always, you guys can grab the starter file, just hit get started. This will take you to the just place where we host all of the starter files. Just hit copy to your work, and it will copy directly to your Creative Cloud files. And as always, if you want to go back and rewatch any bits of the stream that you weren't sure about or something, just hit watch video. You can rewatch any of these. And of course, I'm live every day at 2 p.m. Pacific, so be sure to hop back here every day this week and join us on Discord. So this is the Discord link. You can join us at bit.ly/XD Discord, and that is where, or you can just click this link right here, but that is where you can get feedback on your designs. If you're creating them each day, we've got this current challenge channel in the feedback little drop down up here, and you can see what everyone else is doing. And I know yesterday we didn't have enough time. I kind of ran out of time yesterday, but we will definitely, I'll save some time to look through some of you guys' work towards the end of this stream. So yeah, take a look in here. You can see what mentors are online and just chat with each other about anything design related, or if you have questions, that would be a great place to look. And also you can share on Behance if you'd like. So that's what we're going to be making. Let's go ahead and start this design. So this, as always, this is the little portion of the starter file that you will get. So you'll get this resource booklet, and you will, if you want to hop through some of these tabs, you can find them up here. But the rest of the components, I encourage you to just go ahead and create your own. All right, so I did mention a few different items that we're kind of going to work on today. You don't have to do all of them. If you just want to work on the blending mode, that's fine. But we're going to be focusing on the slider. So that will be in the prototype tab up here. And then it's grayed out right now, but under the trigger, we'll choose drag, and then under action, we'll choose auto animate. So that's what we're going to be working on. And some inspiration, I actually went back to one of the previous daily creative challenges that we did last year. This was for like a weather slider sort of app that showed the color changes from day to night. So that one was fun, but kind of drew some inspiration from that. Just love the fall colors in this one. We're just all about everything fall and autumnal this week. All right, so tips of today. So we're going to be using auto animate and the drag trigger like I mentioned. And then for the change in colors, you're going to use blending modes, just overlaid on top of your leaves if that's what you're going to use. And we're just going to drag that slider from one side to another and change the opacity of the blending mode layer from 0 to 100. So it's very simple. And let's go ahead and get started. So if you want to do mobile, you can feel free to do that. I am using this 1920 by 1080 size right here, but feel free to choose any other size that you want. I do think since it might be a little bit hard to show this in particular on mobile just because we've got a lot of stuff that we want to show, so desktop might be a little better for this one. All right, so I do have some components already ready. And as always, I like to kind of start in the menu bar up here. I've already just created a simple border to kind of tie in all of the green colors. But I want to add in our menu bar a search. So maybe you can like search through the different states to see when the state that you live in is the leaves are changing colors. And then over here, I just want to keep it super simple. I'm just going to add some of the main navigational pages that we would want. So of course, like different types of foliage. And again, I was still having this problem with, I wasn't able to use some of my character styles over here. I think it is a bug, but Rubik works at least. So we can use that one if we want. But just be aware, I think they're still kind of working out some of the bugs from this new release. So foliage, that will be one of the pages. Map, of course. And maybe travel, if you're traveling to see different kind of leaves in different places. And then just about, I think that'll be fine. And I want to space these out. Just kind of distribute that space. So I'll go over here to distribute horizontally. Boom, distributes all those very nicely. And actually, I think I will change all of these but the map to black, just so that one looks selected. And maybe I'll make this bold. It's a little too much. Medium. Cool. Welcome everyone that's just joining. Welcome in Crystal and Jessica. Let me know if you guys have any questions as I'm working today. All right, so then over here, I want to have like a very large, whatever like the site is called. So our logo or word mark. I'm going to use a word mark, and I have been loving this font recently. It's called Lust. Isn't that just the most beautiful font you've ever seen? Like, oh my gosh, I want to use this in like my own branding and stuff, but I've already got some stuff picked out for that. So foliage, that's just what the website we're gonna say is, and then we'll do a little tagline below this. So again, those are not, oh there we go, Rubik is working. Let's make this a little bit bigger, maybe like 30 or so, and we'll make sure it's right aligned over there. And then I'm just going to drag the text box a little bigger, and I'll just say like leaf changes across the US, or maybe whatever country you're in. And let's just bring this to like about the same length there, so it's kind of just fitting nicely. Cool. And then below that, let's make this a little smaller. In this area, we can kind of just describe what the whole site is about. So, you know, this site is about or shows leaf changes across the US, and I'll just go ahead and fill the rest in with some warm Epsom text for the sake of time. Obviously, in most cases, you would not want to just fill in with placeholder text, but just for today. And then I'll bring this down quite a bit because I want the word mark and that little subheader text right there to really draw more attention. And then I kind of want to bring these up a bit. And then over here, this is where we want to reserve most of the space for our map. So you can't see it right there, but this is a gray just outline of the US. And again, feel free to do whatever country you want. And this is where we're going to have all of our leaves. So got these from Adobe stock, and these are actually just, if I like open these up, I just got one image from Adobe stock with all of these different leaves. That way you don't have to get a bunch of separate ones. And then I just used a clipping mask with the pen tool just to kind of cut out a few. You know, you don't have to have a ton. We can just kind of repeat a few of these. But I just want to kind of randomly place these throughout. And this is really just more like of a decorative sort of thing. If you want to put like some rolling hills or, you know, something for each of the different states, like maybe match each of the leaves to the different states, that would be really cool too. But for these, I'm just doing a few. And let's just kind of space these out here. This one can go there. I'll just copy and paste a few of these. Another one of these. I don't really like that leaf. Let's do another one of this. And just kind of rotate them around so they look a little bit different. I'm not trying to get these too perfect because I am going to use our 3D transform tool here in just a moment. But let's see. Maybe just like one more right here. Okay. So that looks pretty nice, nicely spaced out there. And then below that, just right under here, I'm gonna grab just a rectangle and kind of line that up. You'll see the little blue line right there, and that lets me know that I'm just at the same amount of space as that map is. And let's bring this down just a touch. Okay. See if there's any questions over here. Yeah, General Space asked why I choose XD over Figma. Honestly, I just have always started with Adobe software. So I started in Photoshop and then I moved on to Illustrator, and that's just what the first place I got a job was using. And since I've just been familiar with Adobe products, I just kept with this same family. And it's nice because you can, the libraries basically sync up really nicely. So I don't know, I just never really had any need, I guess, to start switching over, especially since I knew all of the Creative Cloud software super well. But just personal preference. You know, you can use whatever you want though. Okay, so I'm adding a little handle. So this will be the handle for our slider. Just putting that on there. Maybe we need this a little bit bigger. And then we can go ahead and group both of these together. So Command G to group. And underneath here, I just want to show sort of the passage of time. So I'm going to copy some of this text. And down here, I'll start with September. And I mean, if you want to do weeks, I think that website that I showed you, yeah, they had weeks, which is a little more realistic, honestly, but I'm just gonna do months. October, November, December, and January. I mean, I think all of the leaves are pretty much dead by January and or December, I guess, off the trees, but it looks nice with all the months. Okay. Let's bring those down a little bit because I actually want these to be smaller than our menu up here. This should, in the level of hierarchy, our menu at the top should be a little bit more important than these sort of the body copy down here. So I'll bring this down to 15, I think. That looks nice. Okay. Let's see. So that looks good. The other thing I might want to add over here, I'll do that at the end actually. All right, so in order to change the colors of all the leaves from this green to the red, all I need to do is just create a separate rectangle on top of this and no border here. And I'm gonna change this fill color to like this nice, bright, vibrant red. And then we're gonna come down here and we're gonna change the blending mode to hue. So since the background of the US shape is just gray, that's not affected. If you do have another color, that might, change your design a little bit, but I just really want to focus on the leaves. So really keeping that static background, just some like kind of gray, some kind of neutral color. Tan would be fine too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down to 0 so we can still see the green on this first artboard. And then I'm going to copy the whole artboard just by selecting the title up here and then copy and paste the whole thing. And then we'll just bring that hue up right here. And since we grouped this, double click in, and I'm holding shift while I'm dragging, and you can just drag this to whatever you want. I'll drag it over to January, and then we'll hop in the prototype tab and then double click in to select just this little handle, not the whole thing. Got to select only the handle. And then we'll zoom out a bit and select that little carrot sort of looking thing and drag it over to the other artboard. And this is where we'll add our interaction. So under interactions for trigger, we'll do drag and auto animate for our action. All right, and then we can make sure that we're previewing this particular artboard. So select the home button right there at the top left, and we can go ahead and preview this. So now when we start clicking and dragging, we'll see those leaves change, which looks really nice. You could stop here if you want, but let's take it just a step further if we do want to. So what I'm gonna do is just drag this. You can't see it right now. I'll just bring that up so we can see it for the time being. So drag this guy down just temporarily. Actually, we don't want to do it on this one. We want to do it on this one. So drag this down temporarily. And what I'm gonna do, and you may not have used 3D Transform before, but this is so fun. So what I want to do is just turn on this little transform icon right here. And what we can do is just rotate these guys around both horizontally and vertically. And to be honest, this particular, like the way I'm using it for this design it doesn't really help the user in any way. It's more just for fun. But if this is like some sort of cards or, something where you really wanted to draw the user's attention to that particular area, that would really help. So, but this one's just for fun. So I'm just gonna rotate these guys around a bit. Or what you could do, it would be kind of fun to like show someone jumping in a pile of leaves or something and the leaves kind of exploding around. That would be fun. So you'll see just kind of dragging these down and left and right. And then if you ever want to just stop doing that, just press this again and you won't see that little 3D transform icon. And then press it again anytime you want to start doing it again. That one looks a little wonky. Do that. I just want these to look like totally random. Move that around a bit. Okay. Let's just preview that to see which ones I've done so far. Okay, so I think we need to do just this one and this one. Let's make sure we do these. Move this around a bit. Need to straighten this guy out a bit. He looks a little funky. And this one, let's move it. Okay, so the other thing I added, the one that I showed you at the beginning, was, let's turn this off. All I did was just move these guys in separate places. So it's a little more chaotic. It's like a flurry of these leaves, sort of, just like rushing around in the wind. They were picked up by a gust of wind and they were just, blown everywhere. So that kind of also helps with the chaotic look we're going for. All right, so that I think will be good. Let's move our little rectangle that has the blending mode up a bit. And then if we go back here, press play, and we just start dragging this over. Oh, that's so fun. I love that so much. So, and again, if you guys don't want to do leaves, play around with this. If it's something else, I'd love to see what you want to do with the transform tool here. The only other thing, if you want to add something, is, I'll just copy and paste this for the sake of time, is a little key to let users know what each of the colors means. So we've got the no change, partial change in the leaf, near peak, this should be a little more yellow, peak, and then past peak. And same with these, this is just copy and pasting one of these leaves, and then I used a repeat grid, and then double click in here. We've got just that same blending mode with the rectangle over it. And for each of these, I just sort of changed that blending mode color a little bit. So like this one is yellow and these are a little more red and so on. All right, so that looks pretty good. Let's preview this again. And boom, love that. So fun. Oh, and we got to copy and paste the key just so we have that as well. And if you want to go backwards, just make sure you select that little handle and drag it back to the previous artboard, and it should just auto select the same thing that you had used previously. So drag trigger, auto animate for the action, and then you can do that slider both ways. So let's preview that. Nice. Boom, that looks lovely. All right, so let's go ahead and Command S to save. And as always, if you want to export, you can come up here to your preview and you can export this as an MOV file, but by just hitting this record preview, and it'll show you kind of dragging stuff around. And then if you stop hitting that, or you hit that again, it'll just save it wherever you want as an MOV file. Those are, I think, a little bit nicer to share if you're sharing as like a case study on Behance. And also you can just go up here to File, Export, and Batch, or Selected, if you just want like a static PNG. Cool, so let's hop into one thing I want to mention real quick on Behance. If you are making a case study, come over here to your project, go into Edit, and then when I go in there, it'll load. We'll hit Settings, and under Project Tags, make sure you have that keyword XD Daily Challenge, and that way I can find your work and give you feedback if you'd like it, of course. So, all right, let's go back. And now, good, I left a little bit of time to look at some of you guys' work. This is one of my favorite parts of the stream. And since I didn't look at these yesterday, I had one in particular that I really wanted to look at, and it was by Julie. I thought this looked amazing. All right, so this was the scroll groups that we did with a map. And I love the colors you chose here, Julie. Like, so vibrant, very fall-y. And we got those pop-ups there. And I love the iconography you used too. Rentable, so we've got some tents. We can book different sites. This looks amazing. I love this one so much. So thanks for sharing that one, Julie, if you're watching. And then I've got a few more. I'm just searching XD Daily Challenge here and sorting by most recent. And then I've got a few already pulled up just from different days throughout these 2 weeks. All right, so this one is by Woo, and we used the slider. And I see that you took a little bit of creative liberty here to, I think this was the pet costume one, and instead you did hairstyles. That's so fun. I love this. You guys are so creative. I love when you kind of take these in different directions and, do something really creative like this. Glasses, winking, that's so cute. Amazing. I love that little animation there with the heart. This looks so good. Thank you for sharing that, Woo. Maybe one or two more. All right, this one was by Toru. Let's take a look. Hit this prototype. This was the one from yesterday. We also used some scroll groups here. We did a little bit of components and we did vertical scrolling. So I will admit yesterday's was kind of a lot. We tried to fit in a lot in just one daily creative challenge. But oh my gosh, this literally looks like it could be like The Sims. I used to play that game all the time when I was little. That is so fun. I love this. Toru, thanks for sharing. Let's take a look at just maybe one more. Annie. Annie's been doing every single one of these challenges, so props to you, Annie. Amazing. And again, this was the one from yesterday. Who's in our fair? We've got different food stalls. And I am obsessed with these illustrations or icons you used for each of these different food stalls. Especially the boba one. That's so fun. Amazing. We've got the component state pop up there. Dang, that looks so good. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today. Don't go anywhere because in about 5 minutes, we've got Design in the Dark with Andrew Hockrattle and Hood's Paw Design. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to vote if you are in the US, and I will see you again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific. Bye, everyone.